Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Danielle, aka Stitcherista here on YouTube, and today is Tuesday, July 19th. Workday is going good. I had my eye exam this morning, and man, let me tell you, the ticket is being the first fucking appointment. Being the appointment at 8 a.m. because they took me right away, and I was out of there by 9, so that worked out. So the doctor said the current glasses I had, which I hadn't even been wearing for like 6 weeks because they weren't helping at all. She said, it's too strong, the prescription. So, excuse me. She said, I'm going to give you 3 prescriptions. One that has, all of readers, distance, all in one pair of glasses. I don't want that. She said that I'm going to give you a reading prescription. She said the readers at the drugstore are probably doing you a little bit of a disservice because your eyes, my eyes are different. My eyes aren't exactly the same vision-wise. She said, so it would be beneficial for you to order prescription readers. And then she gave me the prescription for distance. She said, for driving, it would make driving much more. I don't feel like I have an issue with driving, but I'll get them anyway. So my mom had gotten her glasses from, I want to say it's called Payne, P-A-Y-N-E Optical, because there was no way in hell I was going to order glasses from the eye doctor, because the last time I went, which was in 2019, I paid like $150 for the exam, and then I paid like $400 for my glasses, for one pair of glasses. And I'm guessing it's because the glasses they have there are like Coach, Kate Spade, Prada, that kind of stuff. I don't need that. My mom said she didn't pay over $35 for her glasses. So I was like, there you go. And one good thing about us switching to Aetna for insurance, I only had a $10 copay. I didn't have to pay $150 for my eye exam. So that was good. And then got home and my eyes were dilated, and man, boy, do you have to wear sunglasses. Luckily, I had sunglasses in my purse, which I hate them, but I kept them in there. So I talked to Bill on the phone, and I was like, I was really glad about the $10 copay. And I said, I'm going to go on here and try to order glasses and even get sunglasses, because they have sunglasses that you can get prescription or not. I don't need prescription sunglasses. So I went on there. I took a break from work, went on there just a little while ago, and they let you virtually try the glasses on. It's not 100%, but it gives you an idea. So ordered 3 pair of glasses, the reading, the distance, and sunglasses. And with shipping, I think I paid $75 for all 3 pairs. Yeah. So paid about $25 a pair. My mom loved hers. My stepfather, who has like really poor vision, he even got his glasses through there. So I'll let you know when I get them in. Because I told her, I said, I haven't even been wearing the glasses of the computer. I don't need it. It's been like 6 weeks or something. Yeah. So I'm glad that's over with, because until October, it's like my last doctor appointment until October. And then I have a couple. Like I have 2 in November, 3 in November, 1 in October, 1 in December or January. Like I have some, but man, I get a couple months break at least. So yesterday I did do some stitching, so I will show you that. Now, someone asked me if I was afraid of the Copic marker rubbing off on my threads. No. And no, because the marker is permanent alcohol marker. It's just like if you color a coloring page. Once it's dry, it's not rubbing off on anything. So I started stitching yesterday, the border. And man, am I so glad that I switched that blue color. My blue is much more vibrant. And I had to adjust like the washi tape because, and it's not, there we go. When I this is like the first section. So then I counted over, and I was like, it's going to be like 1 square off of the tape. So I adjusted the tape to give myself more of a border. But yeah, absolutely love that blue. So I will be definitely working on this at the retreat. because I will not be done this by Thursday. So, come to find out, our table of women that I sat with in 2019, only one of them is going to be there. And Cindy is going to sit at my table. She already asked for me to save her a seat. So each table sits 8 people. And so as of right now, we only have 3 people. So we're going to have some new experiences with new people sitting at our table. I'm not going to be as much of an ass about people not wanting to sit at my table. See, I think I was so perturbed last time because I asked like a bunch of people and they were like, oh, I'm already sitting here. I'm not asking anyone to sit at my table this time. You want to come sit? Come sit. And that's what happened last time. It was only like 2 of us sitting there, and then people needed seats. Have a seat. I'm willing to make a new friend. And we all email each other. That whole table of ladies that I met, I didn't know anyone that sat at my table. They all watch my channel. But I didn't personally know anyone that sat at my table from a previous retreat. So, and it turned out to be one of the best retreats I've probably ever been to. So, and like I said, we all email. We're like in an email chain. We'll send like a group email. And it's a shame that none of those ladies are able to go this time because, man, did we have a good time the last time. But I am perfectly confident that Anna is still going to be able to go. She's wonderful. Cindy is great. And whoever else sits at our table, because the tables are usually filled. Like I said, 8 people per table. And it's like 100 and some people at the retreat. So it's usually filled. Yeah, I just want to get there already because I don't look forward to a 2-hour and 42-minute drive. And I know that's not a lot. I'm not complaining. I know there are people like Cindy is coming from 5 hours away. I know there are people really traveling by plane and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll just be really glad when I pull up in the parking lot. But yeah. It's coming upon us. I mean, we only have 2 days now, not even 2 days. But yeah. Okay. So the unfuck yourself entry. Oh, and thank you to everyone who commented about relationships and stuff like that. Made me not feel not so alone, right? Okay. So you would have everything you ever wanted if you gave up your addiction to being right. Ooh. You would have more peace. You would have more peace in your life for sure. If you didn't always have to be right. You know, as I get older, I find myself being concerned with that less and less. Because, man, it can be exhausting trying to prove somebody wrong, right? Yeah, it can be really, no. What's funny, too, is when I was at the eye doctor. Now, you see 2 different people. I saw a tech who did 90% of the eye exam, and then I saw the actual doctor who went over the results, verified some numbers, really looked behind my eyes and stuff, and she goes, my eyes look very healthy, which is good. But she's like, I'm asking all my patients that wear makeup, what eyeliner do you use? And I was like, okay. I said, Stila. I said, and it's the double. She goes, yeah, a lot of people have been telling me about that one. I'm like, that's the best one I've ever used. And it's the double-ended one, meaning there's like a longer brush, and it's a liquid eyeliner. And then there is a smaller brush. I like to think I do pretty good with my eye makeup. I mean, this has been on all day, so it stays really well. I got mine from Sephora because it's like $25 or something, but it lasts a long, long time. But yeah, I thought it was so funny she was asking me that. Okay, so we're going to do a small miracle story, and then that's going to be it. Honestly, because I've really been trying the past couple weeks to not spend money unnecessarily, I think I've made a decision. I'm not going to be going to Needleworkers Delight at the retreat. I think if they were doing the shuttle, the hotel shuttle, I would go. But I don't need anything, and I don't need to be spending money because I'm going to be spending money on food every day. I don't need anything. So I'm planning on not going. maybe if Cindy goes and she drives, because my car isn't leaving the parking lot until I'm going home. Because I will walk, like I said, there's a Dunkin' Donuts behind the hotel. I'll walk there every morning and get coffee. There's myriad of restaurants around there. You do not have to drive. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm not going to say absolutely no, but I don't have a plan to go. Because if I go, I'm going to want to buy something. I mean, I can go and not buy something. We'll see. Okay. Ooh, this is kind of a long story. Okay. Barry and I were going steady in the fall of 1979. Were we? I dated a Barry. Didn't go well. Yeah. It wasn't in 1979 because I was 5 years old in 1979. We were on our way to a restaurant one day when Barry decided to change course. He asked me if I would accompany him while he went to look at an old tenement house that was for sale, so an apartment house. I may be able to buy the building at a very good price, he said, but first I need to check it out. Is it okay if we stop by for a quick look? Though I was hungry, I agreed to go along. Experience had taught me that following Barry's lead usually led me down an interesting path. After a short drive to the seedy part of town, we found ourselves in front of a dilapidated building. The windows were sealed off with odd pieces of iron and wood. The brick walls were covered with layers of spray paint. Are you sure we're in the right place? I asked. Barry checked the address again. Yes, this is the building, he affirmed. Then looking at me with an adventurous twinkle in his eye, he said, let's go inside. Are you serious? I exclaimed, afraid to follow his dare. But my interest quickly got the better of my doubts and we ventured into the building. As soon as we pried the front door open, we were immediately struck by an awful stench that permeated the hallway. My God, I said, are you sure we should go inside? Let's go for it, Barry said. The hallway led to a narrow staircase. Together we climbed a flight of rickety steps. When we arrived at the first landing, we stood and gaped at the rat-infested debris. How long do you think it's been since people have lived here? I asked Barry, and Barry shook his head. No idea, he said. Thinking that the rest of the building must be very much like the first floor, we decided to leave and began to descend the decrepit steps. But we were stopped short when we heard what sounded like a muffled voice emanating from above. What was that? We asked each other in astonishment. How could anyone be living here? I wondered. Our curiosity aroused, we swallowed our fears and turned around to go check out the situation. As we approached the next floor, the voice became more audible. Let's see, we heard a man muttering. Gotta get some milk and go to the post office. Well, maybe I should go first to the post office. And then, as we got closer, the stench became stronger. Ugh. We proceeded despite our revulsion until finally we were face to face with a man who looked and smelled as though he hadn't taken a shower in years. He didn't notice us and continued to mutter under his breath as he prepared for his errand. Hello, my name is Barry, said my companion, trying to establish contact. But the man continued to talk to himself, oblivious to our presence. Barry and I were incredulous that he had been able to survive in these squalid conditions. We were even more surprised, though, when we heard a voice from one of the back rooms calling out the name Fred. Who's that? We asked. He turned to walk away, and we asked if we could follow, and he nodded. Fear dissolved into concern and compassion as Barry and I passed the mounds of dust and heaps of garbage that led to the back recesses of the apartment. There we saw a woman lying in bed under layers of covers. All that showed were her dark eyes. Just when we thought we had seen it all, the woman spoke up and said, Papa? There on the adjacent bed, under torn towels and army blankets, lay an ancient-looking man. What? Barry and I tried to make sense of all this, but our rational minds could not comprehend what our eyes beheld. Our hearts weighed heavy as we gazed upon a state of humanity neither of us had known existed. I leaned over to one bed and asked the woman her name. Dorothy, she responded in a faint voice. Barry and I explained to her why we were there and inquired about their situation. We learned that the elderly man was the father. Dorothy and the younger man, Fred, were sister and brother. What about your mother? We inquired. She passed away a few years ago, was Dorothy's response. We would like to help you, Barry said. Is that all right with you? Dorothy nodded but wouldn't say much more. We tried to find out how they had been able to sustain themselves and persevere in these conditions. It proved to be very difficult to obtain answers. The father appeared to be too weak to converse. Dorothy seemed lost in her thoughts. As for Fred, he was unable to engage in the simplest conversation. Barry and I were utterly moved by this encounter, and we vowed to help the family in any way we could. Over the next few months, Barry used all his contacts to help them. As a result of his efforts, the father was placed in a nursing home. The daughter, Dorothy, received treatment from an outpatient mental health facility where she was placed on antidepressant medication. This enabled her to hold down a job that Barry was instrumental in obtaining for her. Both Dorothy and Fred were relocated to an apartment that was subsidized by the city, and Fred was placed under the care of a social service agency. Standing in those squalid conditions on that autumn day, I promised myself that I would help those people in any way that I could. However, seeing that Barry was doing so much for them, I figured that there wasn't much more that I could contribute. 12 years later, their haunting image came to mind. I wondered about what had become of them, and I pondered the many changes that had taken place since that time. As I sat in my office, I thought about Barry and recalled that he did indeed buy the building. For him, the deal worked out well. Our relationship, though, did not. We were both fortunate to go on and find our respective mates, and I had since become a psychiatric social worker. Memories came flashing back, but were then interrupted when the door opened and the next patient walked in. And there he stood. The man I had vowed to help 12 years ago stepped right into my life. I was one of thousands of social workers in the great metropolis. Fred counted as just one among the thousands of poor souls. "Will you help me?" he asked, and he hadn't recognized me. "Yes, Fred," I said, "I absolutely will." I became Fred's social worker and was able to fulfill the vow I had made long ago. And that is by Judith Frankel Leventhal. And the comment says, when you have a strong desire to perform an act of kindness, the universe assists in mysterious ways. I'm telling you, the universe is a very powerful thing. I believe that if you have good intentions and good thoughts, the universe comes to meet you. I really do. I know we all struggle and have problems and things like that, but for the most part, when I think about stories like that or things that have happened in my life where I've really, really needed something and it's happened, yeah, it's the work of the universe. Okay, guys. I hope you're all having a good week. It is hot as effing hell here today and yesterday. I mean, we are in the third week of July, so yeah. But I hope you're having a good Tuesday. As always, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.